The sun shone brightly over Rome, casting a golden glow across the ancient city. It was as if the heavens themselves were celebrating this historic day. The clear blue sky reflected the joy and anticipation in the hearts of thousands who had gathered at St. Peter's Square. Flags from around the world waved in the gentle breeze, symbolizing the unity of believers from different nations. This was no ordinary day. It was a moment of history, a turning point for the Catholic Church. February 10, 2020, would forever be remembered as the day Pope Luis Antonio Tagle took his place as the leader of the Catholic faith. St. Peter's Square was packed with people from all walks of life. Some had traveled from distant lands, while others were lifelong residents of Rome. All had come with one purpose: to witness the inauguration of the new pope. The air was filled with excitement, faith, and hope. Pope Tagle, a humble man from the Philippines, was about to become the 267th successor of St. Peter. His journey had been long and filled with devotion, service, and unwavering faith. And now, he stood on the threshold of history, ready to embrace his new role as the vicar of Christ on earth. Luis Antonio Tagle's story is one of dedication and humility. Born in Manila in 1957, he was raised in a devout Catholic family. From an early age, he was drawn to faith, kindness, and learning. While other children played in the streets, young Luis Antonio could often be found with a book in hand, dreaming of making a difference in the world. His sharp mind and compassionate heart set him apart, and those around him knew he was destined for a special path. As a young priest, Father Tagle quickly became known for his kindness and ability to connect with people. His sermons were not just lessons. They were heartfelt conversations that touched the souls of those who listened. Whether he was speaking to a child, an elderly person, or a struggling believer, his words carried warmth and understanding. He was not just a teacher of faith. He lived the principles he preached. His presence brought comfort to the weary and hope to those in despair. Father Tagle's reputation grew over the years, and his leadership within the church was recognized. In 2011, he was appointed as the Archbishop of Manila, a significant milestone for him and his community. His leadership was marked by humility, service, and a deep commitment to the poor. Then, in 2012, he was elevated to the College of Cardinals, further solidifying his role as a global leader in the Catholic Church. His rise was seen as a beacon of hope, particularly for Catholics in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, where the faith continued to grow vibrantly. Now, as he stood before thousands in St. Peter's Square, Pope Tagle understood the immense responsibility before him. The world was changing rapidly, and the church faced many challenges. Yet, his faith remained unshaken. He carried with him the hopes and prayers of millions who believed in the power of love, unity, and compassion. He knew he was not alone. The spirit of his predecessors from St. Peter to Pope Francis guided him, giving him strength and wisdom. The ceremony was a magnificent blend of ancient tradition and modern significance. As Pope Tagle addressed the crowd, his voice was steady and filled with conviction. His words carried the weight of his new role, but they also carried hope. He spoke of mercy, compassion, and the Church's duty to be a light in a world often overshadowed by division and conflict. He reminded Catholics everywhere that faith is not just about rituals. It is about love, service, and reaching out to those in need. One of the defining aspects of Pope Tagle's leadership was his dedication to dialogue. He understood that in a world filled with differences, conversation and understanding were key. He believed in building bridges between faiths, communities, and nations. His message was clear: the Church should be a welcoming home for all, regardless of background or beliefs. His vision was one of unity, where people of all faiths could work together for peace and justice. His commitment to missionary work was another cornerstone of his papacy. He often spoke of the importance of spreading the message of love and compassion. He encouraged Catholics to actively share their faith not just through words but through actions. He believed that small acts of kindness could change lives and that the Church's mission extended beyond the walls of its buildings. His passion for evangelization inspired many to take a more active role in their communities, bringing the message of Christ to those who had yet to hear it. The significance of Pope Tagle's election reached far beyond the Vatican. For many, his rise to the papacy symbolized the growing influence of the Catholic Church in the global South. His leadership was a testament to the Church's diversity and its ability to embrace different cultures and perspectives. His presence brought a fresh energy to the faith, and many saw him as a leader who truly understood the hopes and struggles of ordinary people. As the bells of St. Peter's Basilica rang, marking the beginning of a new era, the crowd erupted in applause. The faithful, gathered in the historic square, looked up at their new pope with admiration and hope. They knew challenges lay ahead, but they also knew that Pope Tagle was a leader who would guide them with wisdom and compassion. He was not just a pope. He was a shepherd, a servant of the people and a symbol of unity. As he walked among the crowd, Pope Tagle's warmth and humility shone through. He took time to bless children, comfort the elderly, and speak with those who had traveled great distances to witness this historic moment. His presence radiated love, and his smile reassured those who looked up to him for guidance. He was a pope who listened, who cared, and who understood the hearts of the people. His first official address was met with praise from religious scholars, historians, and theologians. Many saw in him a leader who could navigate the Church through the complexities of the modern world. His ability to connect with people regardless of their background was seen as a strength that would bring renewal and growth to the faith. His emphasis on mercy, compassion, and inclusivity resonated with Catholics across the world. As Pope Tagle settled into his new role, he spent moments in deep prayer, seeking wisdom and strength for the journey ahead. He knew the challenges would be many, but he also knew that faith could overcome even the greatest obstacles. He sought guidance from the Holy Spirit, drawing strength from the teachings of Christ and the examples of those who had led before him.